So I am trying to put across to you that you are powerful in this equation, that you are valuable in this equation. Now, of course, we have to dream big. Dreams have to be big, right? Maybe everything in that dream will not be a reality, but 60, 70%, 80% will be a reality. So I think it is our duty to think big. And yes, we are fighting a formidable enemy. We are fighting an enemy that is dominating the money in this country. We are fighting an enemy that is crushing its opponents. But we have done this before. And we have defeated a much bigger enemy than this new enemy that has come. If you recall, 70 years ago, this country was ruled by the British. Much more powerful than Narendra Modi will ever be. Right? Who is Narendra Modi in comparison to the British Empire? Nobody. And the people of this country sent the British Empire back. Same way, we will send Narendra Modi back to Nagpur. And by the way, I want to make one more point. We will do it without any hatred, without any anger, without any violence. They can do whatever violence they want on us. They can abuse us, they can kick us, they can spit on our face. It does not matter. We will not abuse them, we will not kick them, we will not spit back. Thank you.
Thank you for the great hope that we are getting from Mr. Rahul. Kalpana ma'am, quickly, Kalpana ma'am. Abhiya Chalaya, Dr. Abhiya Chalaya, yeah, please.
Very nice to see you, sir, here. I'm Dr. Abhiya from St. John's College, Palankotai.
I thought you were going to say you're in the movies.
Oh, thank you, sir, for the compliment. Anyhow, this compliment is after you, sir. I'm here to ask a small opinion about the financial autonomy that is prevailing in this new education policy. What is the opinion of Congress about the financial autonomy that is given to higher education institutions? Because 52 universities have been given already and 8 autonomous colleges have been given financial autonomy. And government is telling that they will pay 70% of money for the staffs and the 30% should be raised by the institutions. If that condition is continuing, then all higher education institutions will become a commercial institution and they will load the pay to the students and students will be paying a lot. This will lead the students of a high homes that can earn a lot. Parents who have earn a lot can make their children to go and study the higher education institutions, and the menial society may not have the chance to get the education. What is the view of this for the Congress government?
I personally do not believe that education is a financial commodity. I just do not believe it. I do not believe that you should be able to buy an education. I believe that education should be available to everybody, rich, poor, man, woman, and it is the duty of a nation to give education and healthcare to its people. What is happening today is everything in this country is being seen as a financial commodity. Agriculture is being seen as a financial commodity. Education is being seen as a financial commodity. Healthcare is being seen as a financial commodity. Basically, if you have money, you can get anything you want. If you don't have money, you can get nothing. This is where India is heading. And I am fundamentally against this. There is a role, there is a place for business, absolutely. But business cannot dominate education. Business cannot dominate healthcare because then poor people will not have access to it. So I'm in agreement with your...
Thank you, Mr.
sense.
Thank you. Education has to be completely free. It's a fundamental right. That's a great.
Well, no, I wouldn't say it has to be completely free. Yes, if private players want to participate in education and they want to charge people for an education, they are welcome to do it. But there should be a large part of the education system that should be free, that should be easily accessible and should be high quality. Remember one thing, which nobody says. The IIT is not a private institution. The best institution in the country is a government institution. No institution is able to match the higher education IIT gives you, and it's a government institution. So, access is the key. If certain businesses want to have their institutions which charge a lot of money, that's fine, let them do that. But make sure that the government is doing its job and giving quality education to our poor people and to everybody who wants it for free.
Thank you for the great response. Professors, teachers, we don't have time. Actually, we are exceeding the time allotted to us. Last question by Professor Roy, St. Xavier's College. Professor Roy, St. Xavier's College. Yeah. Please raise. Yeah. Please raise it.
So very good morning. I am Dr. Aloysius from St.
Please
Xavier's
be
College.
brief, please.
And today, centralization and corporatization have become catchy words of 21st century. While centralization and corporatization have become a significant not only in Indian scenario but also global scenario. But the problem is we cannot able to maintain excellence, access and equity. This has to be maintained. Now my question is, what's your view on achieving both excellence and access in this context of centralization and corporatization? Thank you.
In my view, what was the first two words you used? Access and?
Access and excellence.
In my view, access and excellence at scale are impossible to achieve with centralization and corporatization. It is not possible. You might be able to have an institution that is a very good institution, maybe in New Delhi, if you are running a centralized system. But it will be a tiny institution. If you want excellence across the country, you want access across the country, the government has to play a role. Large amount of money, public money has to go into it, and we have to pay our teachers, we have to support our institutions financially. The budget for education has to rise significantly. We are more than happy, the government of India is more than happy to give 1,50,000 crores to 5 or 7 business people during Corona. 1,50,000 crores to 5 or 6 people. Why are they not ready to put that money into the education system for our poor people?
Thank you.
You can ask last question. So, yeah, we can do that. How do we do that?
See, many of you want to have selfie with Mr. Rahul.
So, but
I don't know
how do
how to control that. That's
No,
a-
so you have a camera. So you do it like this, and we have a selfie here, then we go for it.
Check. Dear Rahulji from back,
Yeah.
I came for volunteering this program, but I not need to miss this opportunity
See,
to register my
One second.
Dr.
See,
Janik Reno, Professor.
One second.
Yeah.
You see what happened to your mic just now? You know what happened to your mic? This happens to my mic in Parliament every day.
Oh.
I open my mouth and the mic is off. So I understand exactly how you feel.
One last chance
Yeah,
for
last
one.
question.
Yeah. I need to, as an assistant professor in the mechanical department, I am working. I need to register the problem issues and pain of the professor community. There are 56,000 institutions are there as per All India Survey of Higher Education. So if we consider 100 faculty per institution, there are 56 lakh professors alone all over India. On accounting the teachers of elementary school and higher secondary school, there are 1.5% of the total population are educators. These 1.5% of educators are influencing the 100% younger generation of India
Please be brief,
to
sir, please.
educate, enlighten, and to empower. But we do have problem that the basic two problem is, before quoting the problem, I need to say that only 10% of the educational institutions are central and state aided. So 90% of the institutions are private. Both the faculties are suffering from underpayment and delayed payment.
Sir, please brief, sir.
Faculty is also witnessing that the delay for 2 months, 3 months also in salary delay. That is a major problem. And on Corona pandemic time, there was a heavy salary cut-off for the faculties. And still I know there are some institutions not paying now the faculty, and the faculty are doing their service continuously. And the last one thing is, the younger generation afraid of choosing the profession as
Sir,
faculty.
please be brief. Please, sir. Thank
Because they are afraid of choosing this profession could not able to secure their life. We could able to just see that from the rate of higher
Thank you, sir.
education,
Sir, thank you.
not
Please,
taking the benchmark of the previous year, but taking the benchmark of that plus 2 passing out students and higher education registering students. That is the thing. And I need to give 2 suggestions to make a major reform, that we need to have a centralized committee to monitor that the salary has to flow not directly from the management to the faculty. It has to flow from the management and to government and to the faculty, so which will be ensure the staff students ratio, cadre ratio.
I have to interrupt you because I'm getting very late now. So please quickly conclude.
Yeah. So
Thank you, doctor.
the next suggestion is that the biometric system should be adopted in every institution, and there should be a monitoring committee.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
May I request for the rector to take Rahul ji to the stage.
Yeah,
word.
I'll just finish. Okay, you want me to do something?
To the stage. All of us will be given memento. When you leave the place, there will be memento for all of us. Please take your mementos when you go. It will be given at the gates. Please be seated. Please be seated. This is a parting message from Mr. Rahul.
Thank you very much for coming here this morning. I understand that Sunday is normally your off day, so thank you for giving me 2 or 3 hours of your valuable time on your off day. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to come and talk to you. You are, as I said, one of the central pillars of our education system, and we need to empower you, strengthen you, and make you comfortable so that you can impart knowledge and wisdom to our students. You're doing a tremendous job for this country. Every single day, when you come into your classroom, you must remember that you are helping strengthen this country. So I would like to thank you very much and give you all my best wishes. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं मानक गुप्ता। अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर जरूर करें, और हां, हमें सब्सक्राइब और फॉलो करना ना भूलें ताकि आप देश और दुनिया की कोई खबर मिस ना करें। तो जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ और देखते रहिए न्यूज़ 24।